I'd like to share my way of taking care of facial hair and beard grooming, especially during this time of year. A lot of guys participate in No Shave November, so they allow their beard to kind of grow wild, so we can show them different ways to maintain the beard and hopefully great products to maintain their style along the way. So let's start this video with the initial consultation, right? So you have your client, maybe they have an idea of how they want their beard to be shaped, or sometimes your clients don't even know how they want to style their beard. So you jump in and give them some guidance. If they already have the initial shape, then maybe you just do some touch up and some layering, but this is where we kind of break down what it is that we're going to do. First product I'll start with would be our beard oil. I'm gonna touch the beard already and want to get familiar with it, so why not do it with a purpose? So once you apply it in your hands and emulsify it, I like to apply it on the surface of the beard, but then I work down into the skin. And once I get the beard oil in, I'm gonna pick out the beard, comb it out to see what I'm working with. When I first start cutting, I like to focus on the sideburn area, because if your client has a haircut, or in this case, if your client is bald, you want to make sure that there's a nice transition into the beard when you start layering the look. Once I'm comfortable with the length on the sideburns, I like to move into the length of the beard. So I'm going to grab my hair cutting comb and my shears, and I'm going to comb the length down. And if you notice, the comb teeth are pointed down just so I can really grip the hair. I find if I hold it the opposite direction where the teeth are pointed up, the hair just lays there and I have to keep combing down anyways to really get control of how the length is going to layer. Once I'm somewhat comfortable with how the length layers into the very bottom of the perimeter, I like to focus on really defining that length. Once you create the perimeter at the very bottom of the beard, you can get a better visual and you can go back in and do some detail in the layering. So when it comes to the mustache, I feel like there's ways that we can approach it differently, whether you use a guard or a clip on your clipper or you use your shears, whatever your preference is, I think you should go with it. But in this case, he does have a full length beard. It's very full, so I like to just use my comb to customize the length of the actual mustache. So really I'm gonna just trim and layer it just as I would with the beard, but just in a very smaller fashion, and then I can transition the mustache length right into the beard right away. So I like to use my shears to layer a lot, and that's what I'm doing here. Once you have the stash taken care of, what I like to do is stand directly in front of our model or your client and take an overall look at the way the mustache blends into the beard. So I recommend combing out the beard one more time and doing some detail work on the length if you need to. Don't be afraid to ask your client if you can trim up their eyebrows for them, because sometimes they get out of control. At least you can tidy them up for them as well. So before we jump into the shave, I like to do one last touch up on the sideburn just to make sure it has a nice transition into the beard. So I use this product called Shampoo Paste as a pre-shave oil, but you can use it as a pre-shave oil and go right into shaving if you'd like. But I apply it on the skin, and I like to use it first because it has a menthol oil to it. So it's gonna open up the pores. There's a cinnamon oil in there, also a peppermint oil to really give a fresh sensation and lather up the skin. But I also allow the hot towel to kind of sit on the face a little bit to help the product sit in the skin, but it gives your client a nice experience before you start the shave. The shaving product that I love using is called Shave Cream. It's through the JohnnyB line, and I really only apply it on the face in the areas that I'm going to be shaving. But if your client gives you a heads up that they have sensitivity under the neck or in certain areas, feel free to be generous with the product. We all have our favorite razor, but I like using the JohnnyB razor because it's lightweight and I have a lot of control when I'm shaving and doing lineup detail. I want to walk you through how I would take care of the cheek area, and I'm going to break it down into 3 parts. The first step is I use the razor to define the hairline right above the length of the beard so I can see the perimeter. But then what I like to do is shave against the hair growth, or people call it against the grain. And this is where I really clean up all the excess hair that I really don't want lingering around. But then what I do is I go back and I really redefine the hairline on the beard. So this is what kind of brings it all together and really defines that section. In the neck area, what I'll do is shave with the hair growth, just so I can prep myself with that area and it prevents irritation. But in that same section, just so I can get a closer shave, what I'll do is shave against the hair growth. And that really helps me to get a lot closer and then clean up that entire section. But then what I'll do lastly is just how I redefine the hairline in the cheek, I want to redefine the hairline underneath the neck. So now you could either use another hot towel to cleanse the face. A lot of people just use a cold towel to still cleanse the face but tighten up the pores. In this case, I'm just going to use a hot towel and I'm going to use a lot of product to really cleanse the face. But when you do have the towel on the face, whether it's hot or cold, really use your hands to press that temperature on the face. But also when you remove the towel, clean the face. A lot of times there's leftover product from the shaving cream, so it allows you to really kind of get familiar with the areas of the face, the cheeks, the neck, and just treat it like a facial. We're going to use AM Aftershave as an astringent. We're going to tighten up the skin and close the pores. You can mist it on the face, but I like to really get it in the skin, so I'm going to apply it on my hands and emulsify it in my hands before I apply it on the face. Right after the spray, I like to use the Balm Aftershave. So for me, this is going to act as a moisturizer on the skin. But right after the shave, it's going to cool the skin down. So if there's any irritation, you want to apply it in that area first. But take the time to massage it into the skin. There's a natural witch hazel in the product, so it's going to close up the pores and it's going to tighten up the skin. But what I love most is this product has an ingredient called dipiline, which is going to slow down the facial hair growth. And I only say that because if you have a client with the 5 o'clock shadow that comes out fast, it's going to slow that down. When you're dealing with large length of beards, what you want to do is use a beard balm, so that way you can really control the overall look. So after the shave, you've already applied a beard oil for nourishment. A beard balm is also going to give you nourishment, but it's going to also recreate the shape that you want and control that look. Now, I love my Dyson hair dryer, and I also use it on beards because it helps me to maintain and really style out the beard. I'm going to use my BYOB brush from JohnnyB, and this is really great when you need to get really close to the skin. And in this case, we're giving his beard a blowout, so I take the time to blow it out. I want to get off the hair and really create the style. Check out the overall look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it had a lot of information, but beards take a lot of maintenance as well, especially if there's a shave involved. Remember, a good shave requires a lot of prep work, so recommend good product for your clients. Utilize good product for your clients because your clients are going to really feel it, they're going to love it, and they're going to be able to use it themselves and maintain what you've given them.